Hey, welcome to Money Mind channel. On this channel I talk about money saving tips, investing, and anything related to finance. So if it's your first time on this channel, please subscribe, like the video, and make sure you share with your friends so more people will be informed on their finances, right? Get ready for your finance. I believe this year 2021 is a year that you need to invest your money, because the stocks are hot right now, hot, because if you can invest, stop speculating. You can't stand the heat, and if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's the rules, right? So now we're talking about Bombardier today. We're talking about this stock, which I actually made a video before, and I've seen a lot of interest of people been watching the video, and I've seen this stock has been traded a lot, and so I say, hey, today I see this stock went up. I say, well, talk about it because there's interest on this stock, right? So Bombardier, what's a Bombardier? Bombardier is an aerospace company based on Montreal. There's a headquarters, but they have a facility all over the world, in Mexico, in Europe, and Africa, and in Europe. And the segment of Bombardier is a train, or used to be a train, used to be a commercial jet and private jet, right? So I made a video earlier saying 3 reasons you should avoid Bombardier, because Bombardier might go bankrupt. And the reason was because Bombardier decided to sell all the other segment and leave one segment. So they sold the train segment to Alstom in Europe. France is the headquarters. And they sold a segment of business jet, and business jet has 2 segments, or has 2 divisions. There's one is called CRJ, or Canada Regional Jet, and there's a 2 type of them, which is the 700 and 900, and they have another one is called Q400. So they sold the CRJ to Mitsubishi, for 1.7 something billion, and 250, I think, and then no, not billion actually. I think it's like 500 million, and they sold Q to de Havilland, Canada. So now after Bombardier sold all this, now there's the bigger portion of Bombardier was a train, and we hope after they sold their train they would be able to pay debt, and they would only focus on business jet, because there's a lot of money. Bombardier owes a lot of money, about 9 billion at the estimate, or 7 billion, 6 to 9 billion, right? So analysts predicted that if they're able to sell the train, they can use that cash to pay down the debt, and that will bring the company back to a good standing. And that's one of the reasons I say, well, Bombardier should avoid buying Bombardier, but at the same time, maybe if they pay their debt, maybe the company will rebound. So maybe we're seeing that's what's happening right now, because today the stock just went up crazy, went banana today. We can see Bombardier. Look at the chart here. This is a Yahoo Finance, which I'm giving you this data from. It's 73. So let's look at Bombardier. Previous close at 64, open or 63, bid it's 71, ask 72, bid ask spread. If you're in a trade stocks, this number bid, someone who's willing to pay, and ask someone who is willing to sell at the 72 price. So the difference there would be 1. Days range is between 63 to 75. 52-week range is 26 to 182. So at the current price of 73, let's say it goes back to 182. If you buy today, or tomorrow, it might go up, it may go down. That would make you more than double your money, right? Volume, it's 16 million. On average, about 7 to 8 million, right? So one of the things about Bombardier, first of all, Bombardier is traded at Toronto Stock Exchange, and is one of the heavily traded company on the TSX. Followed by like a company like Aurora Cannabis, and weed or Canopy Growth, marijuana stocks, and more speculative stocks. And one of Bombardier is one of those companies. Always look at the volume. That's a huge volume of trading, right? And that's one of the things about when you're trying to buy a stock, or things about how much it traded. we look at the market cap of Bombardier is 1.83 billion, right? It's about 2 billion, but Bombardier, the 3 years ago, it was at 6 billion, but the volume actually, the value of company, of course, came down a lot because of, you know, what's going on, of course, selling the train and all that stuff. Of course, it reduced the value of the company, right? P ratio, we don't have that. Earning per share is about, I don't know, 93 cents. That's how much they earn, meaning they lose money, made negative, right? Forward dividend yield, of course, this it's a class B share. They don't offer any dividends. 1 year target is about 41. This is estimate, analyst estimate. I personally don't go with this because analysts, they always change. They always change, man. They're always wrong, first of all, and they always keep changing, right? Oh yeah, it's 41 today. Oh, there's also target. We change our analyst target. I mean, it's always changing. It's ever changing. So I don't usually go with this one, and so should you. We look at the chart. That's about 1 day move. You know, if we look at if you look at the max Bombardier, look at Bombardier. If we look at max, this is what it was, you know, many years ago. To today, it is right there. So it's way down. So imagine if you buy a 73 and then it goes all the way back to where it was at 24. Man, you'll be a millionaire. So one of the interesting thing about Bombardier, of course, there's a news here. Bombardier to report fourth quarter and full year 2020 final financial result on February 11th, which is, you know, pretty much tomorrow, or this morning, and the market opens, right? One of the key things that I really wanted to talk to you on this video is I look at the holders. Who is holding Bombardier? Because this is one of the things, when you want to invest in a company, you have to look who is holding this company, who buys the company, because that will determine, you know, of course, if it's a big guy, big mutual funds, big big institution, they buying the stock. I mean, there's a promising. I mean, they see something in the stock, so you gotta pay attention to it, right? And that was interesting. I didn't know about this, but I was like, oh wow. So if we look at major holders, right? The insider, they own about 2%. Share held by institution is about 20% between floating share and just regular shares. Total mutual fund. So who owns the first person or the first company that owns a huge share? It's a Vanguard. Out of all, because Vanguard is one of my favorite ETF provider, and they own 33 million worth of shares on Vanguard Total International Stock Index, which is VXUS, right? And when it comes to developed Vanguard Developed Market Index Fund, they also have 13 million shares, which is about 9 million to 4 million worth of shares, which represent about, you know, between the two, represent about 2.5%. Actually, Vanguard in total, they represent about 3% of ownership of Bombardier. That's a huge, right? Schwab, they have 0.14. We have College Retirement Equity Fund stock account. iShare owns it. So BlackRock, iShare Core, MSCI Total International Stock, Spider, Portfolio Development World X US, they own it, about 1 million shares. Morningstar Market Factor Total Index. And so we have the big guys like iShares, which is a BlackRock, and we have Schwab, and we have Vanguard. They own this. They own Bombardier. A lot of Bombardier share be owned by this. So this for me is promising, knowing that Vanguard actually put their money, because Vanguard, you know, is a value company and they're always really careful. But if they own this, I mean, I'm like, oh wow. So there's something, they see something in Bombardier, right? And that's the reason they own. I mean, though I understand it's very little. So This is the only thing I wanted to let you know about Bombardier, about the earning report tomorrow. We'll see what's happening. So if you want to get more information, just subscribe to this channel and make sure you share with other people so they can know. And whenever the news comes, the earning report will go into details. And you can also watch my other video. I talk about Bombardier. It might be going bankrupt. So what do you think about Bombardier? Do you want to own Bombardier? Do you own Bombardier? Do you think is the time to buy Bombardier right now because it's very low? Just let me know on this, on the comment below. And thanks for watching. Until meet again, we'll always talk about stocks, investment, and hot stock. Thank you. Bye bye.